Hey everybody, welcome to another Codex special comic character of the week show. Today we're doing the one, the only, the Punisher.
Woo!
I'm Sal, the Slab Guy. You can find me on Sal's Comic Corner on YouTube and also under Instagram as the Slab Guy 77. I got with me down below Dan the Man Kelly. Where can they find you at, buddy?
What's up? You can find me on Instagram at Dan Kelly Art. You can search hashtag Dan Kelly Art. All my stuff will pop up. I do art, music, writing, all kinds of stuff. So go give me a follow. Let me know what you'd like to see me do. And then we got this guy right over here.
Yeah, man.
What's going on?
What's going on, everybody? I created a group over on Facebook and Instagram called Comic Character of the Day, where we post a different character and all sorts of other goodies regarding this comic book geekery that we all know and love. We'd love to have you come and join our family. It's the least toxic group on Facebook. I think you'll be happy with it. Come and check us out.
Definitely. And then we got the man behind the scenes, J-Dub.
What's going on, everybody? You know what I'm about to say. You know I'm about to spill out for you. But first, guys, if you guys get a chance, like this video, because you guys keep hitting that like button. It helps the algorithm so much for us and gets us seen where no one else has seen us before. So if you guys can, pound that like button. But as always, go check out the codexstation.com, your one-stop shop for everything Codex. Get some merch, meet the team. Let us know what you like, don't like. Contact us. Just let us know what's going on. And at the bottom is all of our socials. So you guys can't miss out and complain that you guys are not seeing what we're doing because it's right there. And you can like, share, subscribe, follow from there as well. So guys, go check that out. And fun time. April 3rd, we are releasing our new merch line, and I am excited for it. I think the guys are too.
Very excited.
New merch.
Yes.
Merchandising.
Woo! I'm most excited to see Tim's reaction when he sees it.
Yes, definitely. We got to see the live reaction on that one.
Yes.
We have to see that.
So hopefully on After Dark tomorrow, we can get him on there and be like,
that'd be great.
Nice. So, preview, guys. Stay tuned and see After Dark tomorrow night, Friday night. Good stuff is going to happen.
Yes,
but tonight, we're still going to cover the Punisher. So, Dan, why don't you hit us with all the good information on the Punisher?
Well, his first appearance was in February 1974 in Amazing Spider-Man 129, created by Jerry Conway, John Romita Sr., and Ross Andrew. Mm-hmm. He was a Vietnam vet who, when he returned home from the war, had taken his wife and two small children to the park for a picnic. They were gunned down by the mob. He survived, and he used all of his soldier training to become a vigilante and take out his vengeance on the mob. He doesn't have any powers, but he's a trained Marine. He's an expert marksman. He's a master tactician. He's a skilled fighter. He's basically the last person you would want to run into in a dark alley if he doesn't like you.
Yep. That is for sure.
Absolutely.
And we have scenarios where this character works best, but first, we got to do a little shout out to our sponsor, WGG. You go to WGG, and if you use the code word Codex, that's CODEX-X, you can save 10% on that order. They've got great flavors out. They're just restocked, so go check them out. They're a great energy drink, and you get a tumbler with them too. Good stuff. Jamie likes it. There you go. He's holding up one of his favorites. So go check them out.
Big energy tears, ladies and gentlemen. Big energy tears, because I cry a lot when I'm working, so I need it.
There you go. All right, so for scenarios that works best, let's start with Kevin. Kevin, what do you think how he works best in?
All right, guys. The movie John Wick, they describe him as a man of singular focus. That's direct quote. I think that describes the Punisher to a T. Nothing exists for the Punisher except for the mission. There's no shades of gray. There's only black and white. There's the innocent and then there's the guilty. That's it. If there's one comic book character that embodies antisocial personality disorder, it's Frank. And when they lean into that, I think he's tremendous. I love the character when they write him without any inner well, maybe is this the right thing? No. He has his mission. That's all he cares about. Go. That's it. I think that's the perfect interpretation of Frank.
Yeah, Definitely. So, Dan, what do you think? What works best for this character?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Kevin when he has like you said in John Wick, like the singular focus.
Mhm.
You know, when he has that, like he sets his sights on something. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead. You know, and this is how it's gonna be. He doesn't let anything get in his way, no matter what. He keeps on going. He occasionally picks up, you know, people that'll help him here and there, but for the most part, it's, you know, a one-man war.
Mhm.
And you know, and I think it's best when it's treated like he's a one-man war. Like I said, occasionally have people come in and out to help him, but you know, it's him. You know, it's always him till the end, and like he just won't let anything stand in his way.
Right. Yep.
He's got you know secret like safe houses all over the place, and just you know, like you take out one, you take out the battle van, he's just there to the next one. He just unrelenting.
Yep.
Just moves on to the next one. How about you, Jamie? What do you think? What do you got for the best?
I mean, I agree with the guys that I didn't know we were doing comic character of the week, John Wick, but
yeah, pretty much. I mean, pretty much.
Yeah, but or Berserker, I should say.
Yeah.
But for me, I think Frank works best when he's tactical down to the T. Like, I hate it when he's just like, we're winging it, kicking the door. You know, I love the old Punisher series, especially when he's like mapping out everything. He knows exactly which vent to avoid, what door to avoid, where to go into, where he's going to breach, how much time it takes for the guard to go from point A to point B, those kinds of things. I think that's where he works best at, when his mind is so focused on the task at hand that he's got, because he's so prepared for the task at hand. He isn't going in there just being like, I'm just gonna shoot all of them in the head, like, and then we're just gonna see how it falls.
Right,
he's a soldier, and he's using his soldier training, not just, oh, I'm a mad guy with a gun.
Yeah, like he's not just running through being like, guess what, pop, you're dead. He's going in there being like, okay, I know these 3 guards take break at this time. I can go through there and then make my way up to the Kingpin. Like, So what about you, Sal? What do you think, man?
Well, you guys have pretty much summed up everything that I was going to say. I called it his obsession level. He just it gets into his head, and it is like, you know, there is nothing else but that target. That is it. I like it when he goes full tilt, killing bad guys left and right. You know, being the tactical soldier that he is, and he's just going balls to the wall, you might say. And I also like when he's at odds with other supers like Spider-Man or Daredevil, because he seems to team up with them, and they're like, no, you got to use rubber bullets. He's like, yeah, you go over there and save those people. As he just starts lighting them up. So, and I have to circle back. I think Daredevil is like probably his most antagonist pairing, because Daredevil is always trying to like pull him back from the edge, where he just keeps going further over the edge. So that's what I have for what works best.
I like that comparison though at the end there with Daredevil. Like it's like his Jiminy Cricket in a sense, but realistically he's like ping.
Yeah, and like
I like
noted.
I like you when you bring up the other supers, that he has like, he seems to have such a disdain for most of them, except like Captain America. He has this reverence for Captain America because he knows Cap was a soldier first and foremost. So like Cap is the one that he'll say like yes sir to, and kind of do that. But
did he join up with Cap in Civil War? I thought it was
he did in Civil War until he gunned down a couple villains and Cap.
But, you know,
I'm going to play for Tony now.
The thing with Captain America though is he let Captain America beat the crap out of him, and he didn't fight back because he respected Cap so much. He's like, "Yep, go ahead, do what you want." That's cool. That's just a cool little, thing.
Yep.
But like the interactions he has, like it was the Punisher series a couple years ago when he was going after a bunch of villains, and a couple of like random heroes decide they're going to help him. It was like Night Thrasher, and I can't remember all of them, but there was Moon Knight there, and like this one panel exchange between them where Moon Knight's there and Punisher says something to him like, "Oh, hey, how's still crazy?" And he's like, "Yeah, still obsessing over your dead family." He's like,
Yeah.
Oh, cold.
I had that issue. I love that panel so much.
Yeah.
He's like, you still got all those personalities in there, Mark? He goes, yeah, still obsessing over your dead family there, Frank. And he's like, yeah.
Like of all the superheroes, Moon Knight is the one that I could actually see him like actually working alongside. That's not gonna where someone's not gonna say no. You can't do that. Moon Knight's like, oh yeah, you're gonna shoot him. That's cool. Like
punch him harder. You have to start from up here. You can't be like short jabs.
He's like, you should get these moon-shaped trunk, and they're really good for like stabbing them from far away.
Very true. All right, so I know we got badass moments, and I'm going to start this one off. So we're going to have the 3 badass moments that I think are typical Punisher. So this first one I got comes from the Punisher Max number 5. He actually kills a dude using another dude's head. So he kind of takes that guy's head and smashes it into the other guy's head. And the graphic alone to that is just amazing.
Brutal.
Well, we already got one of mine gone.
All right. So let's see if I can go 2 for 2.
Uh-huh.
My next one I got is, I'm going to save that one for last. My next one I got is throwing a guy from the top of the Empire State Building. So this one was Frank returns to Manhattan. He takes on the Gucci family, Noki family. I'm sorry, and
Gucci.
I said Gucci. I know it's late. Come on, give me a break.
It's all right.
Jared Leto and
Jared
Leto and Gucci.
So he kind of walks in. He kind of walks in on the guy having dinner with some girl, and he's like, "Check, please," and it starts. A brawl starts, and he takes the guy from the top and just heaves him off the Empire State Building like he was just trash. And of course, the guy splats on the ground.
And if I may, the reason he does, well, one of the reasons he does that is to announce his return to New York.
Yeah, he's like, hey,
I'm back.
What's a way we can go out with a splash?
Yes. So the third badass moment I had is when he actually kills the Hulk. This is from the Punisher Secret World's Battle World number 1. He has somehow obtained the powers of Doctor Strange. So the panel starts off as Hulk like launching himself at Punisher, and Punisher's just kind of like has almost like his back to him, and he just snaps his fingers and says "calm," and he turns the Hulk right into Banner, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, Banner," and then he says "dust," and it immediately vaporizes Bruce Banner. So it was like, and you could the coldness you get from the reading of that panel just shows typical Punisher right there. He's just like, I'm not even going to be bothered by this, and just whack, and done. So let's go with Dan. What do you got for your 3 badass moments?
So one I have is it's from 2 different Punisher issues. It's from the Welcome Back Frank storyline. It starts in issue 4, and then the second part of the badasses part is in issue 12, but they kind of tie together. So in issue 4, when the mob is as Sal said, the Gucci family.
The Gucci family.
I'm gonna have to call him that the rest of the show. Is chasing him through the is chasing him into
Welcome back, Sal.
Into the zoo, and he starts popping them off, and he takes so how is it you actually say it? It's
Noki, I think it's called Noki. Like
the potato sticker. Yeah. So he takes Mononoke and he throws her in, like he punches the polar bear and then throws her in with that to kill her. But she survives even though she's mauled by it, and she loses her arms and legs. So she's basically just a stump of a person. So that's part 1 of it. And then part 2 is in issue 12 when he's taking out the family and he's got the house on fire. And he's outside with her and she's screaming at him like, F you, and he just picks her body at where it's just her torso and a head and throws her into the fire.
Actually, he punts her.
Yeah.
He was biting at her leg.
Yeah, I was about to say she was biting his leg, and
it's just so brutal.
Talk about the extra point.
Yeah. Another one I have is from that from that same series from issue 11 when he's fighting the Russian. If you watch the Punisher movie, the one with Tom Jane, they recreated the fight pretty well in that. And the way he ends up beating the Russian, who is this like monster killing machine that's after him. And the only way he really beats him is he's got all these weird neighbors in this building he lives in. He has this grotesquely obese neighbor that he just knocks down onto the Russian and smothers him. Smothers the Russian with his...
I love that panel because he's just laying on top of him like, don't move.
He smothers the guy trying to kill him with his fat neighbor.
Mr. Bumpo.
Yes. It's
death by neighbor.
It's hysterical and brutal at the same time. Yeah, and then the last one I have is from another Punisher series. I forget which volume is. But it's issue 16 and 17. Derek Robertson was drawing it, which just made it even more fantastic. Where Wolverine's after the Punisher, and when he's coming towards him, Punisher blows his face off with a shotgun in 16. So then in issue 17, Wolverine's running around and you can see his adamantium skull, but like all the skin from his face is gone from being blown off with the shotgun.
He shot him somewhere else too.
Yeah.
And after they end up taking out these guys that were trying to get them both, Wolverine's like, all right, I'm coming back after you. So then Punisher shot him in the nuts, like blew his crotch off, and he's lying on the ground. He's like, oh, God, he's cursing him, and Frank just looks at him and goes, it's going to grow back.
Yeah, it's going to be okay.
And then Wolverine's yelling, I'm like, I'm going to find you. I'm going to track you. And he's like, what can I do to keep him off my tail for a little while until the scent grows cold? And he sees a steamroller. And after he's blown his face off with a shotgun, blown his nuts off, he rolls him over with a steamroller and then leaves the steamroller sitting on top of him so he can get away.
You're going to die in about 7 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. And it is absolutely brutal. So if you ever wonder reading a comic why Wolverine hates the Punisher when you think that they are two characters that should get along, it's reasons like that.
Yeah.
So what about you, Kev? What do you got?
I hate going after Dan because he always takes my shit with this whole thing. But number 3, it's kind of the same thing you were mentioning, but my point wasn't just that he threw Ma Noki into the thing at the zoo. He was there and he was in the polar bear encampment, and they're like sniffing him, and it's like, these polar bears are domesticated, they're docile, we can't have that. And he just called Claw, a polar bear, in order to get him riled up to use as a weapon. He uses a freaking polar bear as a gun to take care of his business. I mean, I thought that was one of the best scenes in all of Punisher. Once again with that, for number 2, I have shot Wolverine's face off, nailed him in the nards, and then parked a steamroller on him. Like, Wolverine can't be stopped. Except for that. I mean,
he can be delayed for a while.
Yeah. He like inches his way out.
Yeah. And he's aiming at Frank the whole time that he's doing it too.
Yeah. And then my number 1, I'm surprised nobody called this one out already. And I don't even need to get into like why, just when the Punisher gets War Machine's armor.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm going to go see if I can talk to the Avengers about contacting Namor so I can get Sanctuary in Atlantis, because that's the only safe place if Punisher gets the War Machine armor. Screw that. I'm out.
All right, Jamie.
I hate my job.
Oh, you love it.
I do. I love every minute of it. So, first off, I got the one Sal said from Punisher Max number 5 when he takes a criminal and kills him with another criminal. I just think that's fantastic when you can use another human to destroy another human. Secondly, I have him killing the Marvel Universe. I mean, what other way like I said, the tactics in that is just fantastic. And I went with taking over the War Machine mantle.
Mhm.
I was gonna say with
'Cause-
the Marvel Universe when it was brutal with Spider-Man when Spidey's like, "Why me?" and he goes, "Because somebody had to be first," and then just shoot.
Yeah,
Like-
That's so frank.
I had that feeling with a few people. Sorry. Put your hand down, Kevin. You're not good enough to be first. You're second.
Fair.
All right, so we have badass moments, but we
Well, I
all
was
know
gonna
we
say
have.
if I could, I'll throw one more in
Go ahead.
because I had a bunch on here and no one mentioned this one. It's from
Make
the
it quick.
future Batman Deadly Knights crossover when Punisher's there. Just it's like Jigsaw and Joker teaming up, and Punisher is just mowing down everyone, and Batman's trying to get him out of the city. And at one point, the Joker takes off, and Punisher goes after him, and has got him there and getting ready to shoot him. And he's just, and the Joker, you like actually see him scared because
Yes.
he knows oh, this isn't like Batman where he's just going to throw me in Arkham. Like this guy's going to end me. Like
Right.
he's not, the Joker's not used to going up against someone like that, and he's trying to talk the Punisher out of it. And he's like, nope. And right when he's getting ready to shoot him is when Batman shows up and stopped him. But to scare the Joker,
That's fair. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's true. That's a good badass moment.
yeah.
Honorary mention on that one.
Mhm.
All right, so for all these badass moments, we know we got some critiques and criticisms on what doesn't work with them. So Jamie, why don't you start us off with this?
Yeah. So the one thing I think doesn't work with Frank is when you have to put him on a team of
Yeah.
any sort. I think that as soon as he's part of a team, you already know he's first out. Like it's just lazy writing at that point
Mhm.
to me. Like if you see Frank and he's like, oh, he's gonna help with the Avengers. I'm like, no, he's not. He's gonna shoot somebody and everyone's gonna be like, get him away from me right now.
Yep.
I think that's one of the major things that I don't like when it comes to this character. Secondly, where I think they need to work on is why are we trying to evolve him?
Yeah.
Trying to make him like Jason Aaron's is doing a good job on his run right now.
Mhm.
But when I say that, I mean, why are we trying to push
Make
him
something-
to other
yeah.
means, make him something
Yeah.
he's not? Because the core of Frank Castle is I'm just going to destroy everything. I have a reason for it, and this is my mission. When you start throwing in other like side segments or something, it gets diluted, and the main focus ain't there no more.
Mhm.
So
Agreed.
those are mine.
Agreed.
All right, Kevin, why don't you give us yours?
Well, to kind of go off of that, when they try to evolve him, I have a different thing, but I just wanted to throw my 2 cents on what Jamie just said there.
Go for it.
Is when they like, what are we going to do with him? Let's swap his nationality. Let's make him a Frankenstein monster. Let's make him an angel. I'm like, come on, dude. That's
I did like Frankencastle though. I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
lie.
it was cool, but it was like, come on. But
It
what
was a
I
little
have
much.
is kind of what, once again, what Jamie said. I have this is the Punisher simply cannot work with others. No team, no microchip. Frank's simply too uncompromising to work with others. It's been established that he's so antisocial that I mean, yeah, they explain it with his PTSD and it makes sense, but he wasn't even comfortable with his own family. Like he's like alone. He's a complete loner. Doesn't work with anybody at all. I mean, an occasional team up, like I get that. With like one of my favorite runs was Punisher, Wolverine, Ghost Rider, Hearts of Darkness. It was a temporary thing, and it worked, and it was great. But
You never want to see that team again.
right.
Mhm.
But that's one time where it worked, and it occasionally works other times. But he can't be, he can't work with anybody for any length of time.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Okay, cool. How about you, Dan? What you got?
Yeah, I got to agree with them. I don't like when they try to make him like an anti-hero or have him, especially in the 90s when they're like, he's popping up in every book everywhere. Him and Wolverine were so, and Spider-Man to an extent, were so oversaturated because he's popping up everywhere. Like he's not an anti-hero. Like this guy is vigilante in every sense of the word. He is a brutal killer. Like I said, Moon Knight, as far as all the superheroes, is probably the one that's closest to him that, you know, would be able to get along with, because Moon Knight is crazy too.
Mhm.
And, you know, he's not someone that should be teaming up with Spider-Man. You know, like, I get that he's in New York and he's going to run across them, you know, all of these other characters occasionally, because so many of them are based in New York and Marvel. But it shouldn't be like, oh, we're on the same angle, so let's team up and do this case together. Like, no.
No.
Oh, I have to mention though. Sorry, but
No, go ahead.
the best team up I think Frank has ever had was when he used Spider-Man as a human shield. And like he got knocked out by the Russian. He kind of came to and he's like, "What happened?" He goes, "We had a team up. You did great." Like, threw his half beaten, half conscious body on the ground, just walked away. I'm like, that is a Punisher team up right there.
That's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't mind when he works with someone else occasionally, but, you know, I don't think it's the superhero thing that works. It's like when it's someone like Microchip, who is, all right, he is also, you know, the same kind of focus, because Microchip's son was killed, and, you know, so he's on there with the mission too. Or I forget the woman that was the ex-CIA operative that was hanging around with him for a little while. It started in the up and down, up is down, black is white storyline. But again, like, it was only a short time, and then it's back to him being solo. And then, like Kevin said too, I don't like when they try and fit these supernatural superhero things in it. Like, oh, we're gonna make him an angel, we're gonna make him Frankenstein, we're gonna make him Doctor Strange. Like, the War Machine armor thing seemed to fit. You know, that seemed to work, I thought, because it's a natural thing. Like, you're not giving him powers or anything. You're just giving him another weapon, because that's how he saw the armor. This is just a bigger gun that you know, I wear the gun. Because even in that series, you saw him like kept overriding the safety features and kept telling the computer in it, like, shut up, do what I want. Because that's how we saw it. Like, this is just a gun, and when it's out of ammo, I'm just going to go on to the next gun. Right. So that's why I thought that fit perfectly with him, as opposed to, oh, we're gonna make him an avenging angel with weird guns.
But one thing that I gotta say before we get going with Sale is, I think that the Punisher is the best example of something that I've talked about a lot that you don't see in comics, and that's running into those other heroes in New York. Like, most of them, like, you'll see the Fantastic Four. I just want to see Spider-Man swinging a back panel somewhere, or something, you know. And with Punisher, it seems like he's always the one that runs into these other characters. You know what I mean? So I always love that aspect. I'm like, it's New York. I know it's big, but there's 70 of you guys running around right now. How come you're not bumping into each other? Like, why is it Hell's Kitchen and you don't see 6 other heroes fighting at night?
Something. Yeah.
You know, but Punisher, it always happens like that. So
that's true.
Sal, what do you got, bud?
I was gonna say, I like what you said too, Jamie, with Jason Aaron's run. Like, the story is good, but this, you know, it's interesting, but at the same time, like, I don't want to see the Punisher with like demonic powers floating through the air and stuff. Like, it's, you know, he works best when he's just, you know, he's just a guy. He can get hurt, you know, he has to take time to recover.
All right, Sal, what do you think?
Oh, I can go now? I can go now? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Dan finally stopped talking.
Oh my gosh, I can finally talk. Jeez. I mean, all 3 of you were like, what the hell?
That's right.
So I'm going to make mine short.
One of the things I wanted to add before something.
Oh, where's the mute button?
Go ahead, Sal. Go ahead.
So, threw him off. That's all right. He's back. He's fine. So one of the things I wanted to add to that, I agree, but I want to take it a step further and say, when he actually agrees to be nerfed down, okay, I'll use rubber bullets this time. You know, that, because that's not who he is.
Right.
You know, this echoes what everybody else has said on this. So I won't dwell on it anymore, because I think we've gone far enough on that subject. So, but we got top covers coming up. That's how I'll go. Thank you. Got somebody on my side.
I was on your side.
We love you, Sal.
To the last minute there. What the fuck about that? Anyhow, top covers. I know we got them. Jamie, kick us off. What are your top three covers?
Yes. So obviously I have the Punisher 224, and it was the first appearance of him on the cover with the War Machine.
Oh, that's pretty.
I don't know why I love the fact that he's carrying an American flag for no reason.
Yeah.
Because he's a soldier.
Next up I got Punisher #1. This is a variant edition. I believe it's from volume 10, if I'm not mistaken. But I love the black, how they use the black to like use as the shadow, and then it encapsulates half his body, but you still see like the smoke from the gun. It just all the tactical armor. It looks amazing.
It is pretty great.
And then the last one I have is from the 87 series. And his Punisher #75. This is his milestone. I just think it's simple yet awesome to see. Like, especially if you look at the knife, you kind of see the face in it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it looks like a face in the knife.
Yeah, in knife blood, and then just the lighting and the mood of it for this series at that time fits perfect.
There's just somebody right behind that corner that is about to shiv.
Yeah.
And the knife was foil on the cover.
Yes, it is.
Well, that's awesome.
All right, Kevin, why don't you show us your top three covers?
Right. So for me, a lot of these were just iconic covers that I had. I didn't have of course, the very first appearance of the Punisher in Amazing Spider-Man, but that is just such an iconic picture of like him with a sniper rifle getting ready to take out somebody that nobody has any idea where the hell it's coming from. It's just such a great cover. I'm going to skip the middle at first and go to the last and then go back. Punisher #1, that was the first comic I ever had of the Punisher. So it just resonates with me as like that's the Punisher. And Born was such a tremendous run. And that cover shows, for me, it shows the evolution of Frank becoming who he's going to be.
Very cool covers. Very cool covers. All right, Dan, why don't you show us your top three covers?
All right, so on the end, I got the Punisher War Journal #19. I just think it's funny when it says you've just rented a jet ski to the Punisher, kiss that baby goodbye. It's like,
that's true.
And you see him on a jet ski with this monster gun. And the only thing that would have made it better is if they drew him with the Hawaiian shirt on that he was actually wearing inside the issue.
Yep.
That's such a G.I. Joe cover.
Yeah, but it's just
love it.
It's so ridiculous. Like, oh, here I am on a jet ski with this, monster machine gun going to shoot somebody. Then the middle one, it's Punisher #1 from his first Marvel Knight series from Welcome Back Frank, when they brought the character back to kind of his roots after they did the whole Avenging Angels thing. And it's just, it's such an awesome Tim Bradstreet cover. I could have easily picked all Tim Bradstreet covers, but I went with the first one where it's just all business. You got the, look on his face, you got the skull in the background. It just really pops. Yep. And then Punisher #1 from his first ever solo series, awesome Mike Zeck cover where you see him just backed up against the wall, blasting everybody. And then you got the Punisher in the little box up in the corner, just leaping out at you with guns too.
Nice. All right, let's go to my top three covers then. Looks like we got some same ones there, huh? So I went with Amazing Spider-Man 330 because I love this. They're being shot at. You can see like the rage on his face. You can see some bullet wounds on him, and he's just blasting away. Love that. Of course, it has Spider-Man on it too, so it's always cool. The second one I got, this is a Punisher from the new series where they just changed the logo, and I didn't mind the logo change. It really didn't bother me too much. I know they worked it. I know they worked it into the story, so that made it a lot more
tolerable.
Easy to tolerable, you might say. Yep, and it made sense and it worked for me. But the way he's holding the knives or the short swords there, I'll say, is just awesome. You can have a little blood dripping off him and everything. And you can still see look like he's got blood splatter on him and bullet shots on him as well. That's just awesome. And of
Mhm.
course, I chose the one that had Dan here did Punisher #1, Mike Zeck cover. The rage on his face alone sells me on this book. So those are my top 3 covers.
Those are great.
So these are all great covers, but you know where you can find some great covers?
They gotta tell me.
All right, you got to go over to Heroscornercomics.com. You go over to Heroscornercomics.com and use the code word codex, CODEX, no hyphen. You can save 20% on your order. And they've got exclusives, they've got slabs, they've got back issues. You can even set up a pull list with them as well. And they've got a codex bundle, which is 3 exclusive Hero Corner comic books. And if you use the code word codex, CODEX, no hyphen, you can still save 20% on that order. But we got
And
what we could do,
and
right?
they're awesome people.
They are awesome people.
Yeah.
Jamie, do you have a commercial you want to run with that?
Yes, we do.
Hit it.
Everyone, if you're anything like me, you love comics, but you also love a good deal. And our friends over at Heroes Corner Comics have just the deal for you. From exclusives to back issues, graded slabs, current issues, and even set up a subscription with them. And all you have to do is use the keyword CODEX at checkout. That's CODEX, and you will save 20% store-wide. So don't miss out.
Yes.
Don't miss out.
out.
Do it.
Don't
Is
miss
there
out.
an echo?
Don't forget that also, ladies and gentlemen, starting April 1st, they are going to be doing their mystery box sale giveaway again. Last time it was $100. This time it's $125. This one does include a 9.8 CGC grade
Ooh.
in it, and the
Nice.
$200 value of comics that you're going to get along with it as well. So don't miss out on that. Me and Sal got those. They were amazing the entire time. You can check out our channels, check them out, and see what they included. If you want to see how they were packaged, go to Sal. If you just want to see the comics, go to me. And that Codex bundle, you can go to Tim because he got one, and it is fantastic.
And
Yes.
the interesting, awesome thing is it's 125, but that's not including your 20% discount by entering in the code X at checkout. So it's even better a deal than it sounds.
Well, hold on one second.
Yeah, that one does not apply.
That one's
Oh,
not
it
applied
does-
to the mystery box.
I
Yeah.
apologize. I spoke out of ignorance. I apologize. My mistake.
That's all right. The
I
mystery
take it
box
back.
is only available through Heroes Corner Comics Insiders on Facebook. That's
Yes.
where you can get
Okay.
that.
I see.
So definitely, as Kevin said, they're great people. They package
Yep.
really well, and they ship very fast, and they are extremely friendly and good to deal with, and I highly
Yes.
recommend them.
Yeah, we had Louis on
definitely.
an episode of After Dark. He's a great guy.
You do. You can check that out.
Yeah.
Good guy. Good guy. All right, so let's kick off our essential readings, and we'll start with Kevin this time.
No.
Kevin, give me your essential readings.
All right, we got some good ones. We got Punisher in the beginning, and that one kind of just establishes who the Punisher is. Like it paints a picture of his motivations, his start, how he became, and how he became not who he is as the Punisher, but like who he is as a person. Then we got the Punisher Born, and that was such a tremendous run. I think it was that 6 issues? 5 issues? Anyway, it was 4 issues. Okay, my mistake. I don't want to give away too much of it, but it establishes Frank making a deal, but that deal cost him everything. And then we got I think I may be wrong, but I think Punisher Welcome Back Frank is going to be on everybody's list. I may be wrong, but if you only have to pick one comic to read to get to know the Punisher, it's Welcome Back Frank. It was such a dramatic read that it resonated with me as one of my favorite comic reads of all time. It's amazing. Highly recommend
Nice.
that one above everything else there.
Nice. All right, Jamie, why don't you show us your recommended readings?
Of course. So from the first one, I can't talk highly about this series enough. It might be 104 issues, but the Punisher series from 1987. God, that whole series was amazing from start to finish. I know it's a lot, but if you have the chance, a lot of them are dollar bin finds.
Mhm.
Definitely go
Mhm.
check those out. I mean, it was just so well written and so well done.
Were you alive at that time there, Jamie?
No. You were about 4 years off.
All right.
Yeah, so next up I have the next two I got team up books.
Mhm.
The reason for this, and I'll explain. So Magic Bullets was to me it was like they took a chance on the weirdest combo, which was Doctor Strange and Frank Castle.
Mhm.
And we actually did a review on it over on our Codex reviews. Go check it out. But it's essentially like, what if Frank had the capabilities of Doctor Strange, but still
Mhm.
shot people?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just amazing. It's 4 issues. You can't miss out on it. It's a great read.
Mhm.
Lastly is Batman Punisher Lake of Fire.
Mhm.
Now for those out there, this isn't the Bruce Wayne Batman in his book. This is the Jean Paul Valley
Oh yeah.
version
Mm.
of
As
Batman. Yes. And I thought this was actually a great book all the way through. A little disappointing that it wasn't Bruce Wayne in it when I first got it, because I didn't know any better, because I was young and immature and didn't know better about life. But it was still a great read. And I think those two alone, if you guys want to see where he works well with people, not in a sense of, hey, let's be friends, but in a sense
Yeah.
of, hey, we're gonna beat the crap out of each other or something. These are
Mhm.
It was a pen. It was an essential like candy, but that was such a '90s book. I mean, that was ultimate
Quintessential
90s book.
90s.
There
I
you
would
go.
say.
That's the word I was looking for.
There
Thank
you go. All right, Dan, how about your recommended readings? What you got?
Start off, I got Circle of Blood, which was the first 5-issue miniseries. It was the first time he ever got a solo series, because before that he had only been a guest star primarily in Spider-Man books, but some other ones here and there too. This was the first time you got to see him on his own, and it's just if you're interested in the character, I think that's a really good starting off point to see how they handle him there. And then I also have Punisher, Welcome Back, Frank. Like Kevin said, it's this to me is the quintessential Punisher story. It followed up where they had done the Angel thing, which was not well received, and the way Garth Ennis just in about like 2 or 3 panels just wrote it off and went, had him go back to being who he is was perfect. There's so many great moments from it. The Thomas Jane movie was very, very loosely based on this, but it's just, to me, if somebody was telling me I want to read one Punisher story, that would be what I'd recommend.
Yep.
And then the other one I have, like Kevin has, is Born. It's a 4-issue miniseries that is about Frank before he becomes the Punisher, when he's in Vietnam, and you've seen stuff with him in Vietnam before from the when he guest starred in the book The Nam back in the day and some other things, but I think this is the best thing that showed his experience in Vietnam and how he started on his path to how he would eventually become the Punisher.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool.
Sale.
All right, let's check out my readings then. I can't believe you guys, and I'm going to start with this one, didn't choose Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe.
I mean, yes.
I knew someone would.
Come on. This is a great story. Like you said, it was like how tactically he handled every single superhero when he did that. It was just an amazing story to read. And okay, so I've got Circle of Blood. Just like what Dan had said, it's a great starting story. It gives you a lot of good backstory or history on the character. If you've never read anything with Punisher, you could probably start with this one and just fall right into place with that. And of course, then I've got the Punisher, the 1987 series that came out just after that, because that was just an amazing series. And yes, 1987 was the year I graduated high school.
I wasn't even a thought, Sale.
I know. So there you go. That's my 3 recommended readings.
All right, so
There we are.
real fast, I want to throw a plug in there for you guys. If you guys have not had the chance yet, if you guys liked Circle of Blood, I did not, so I didn't interview the guy. We do have a one shot with Stephen Grant, who was the writer of Circle of Blood. So go check that out on one shots if you guys get a chance to.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah, I had Sonny do that one.
Nice. All right, so moving on here, we got now best writer and best artist. So let's start with Dan. Dan, who do you got for best writer and best artist?
For best writer, I've got to go with Garth Ennis. I think he's probably I haven't looked the numbers up, but I think he's probably written more Punisher books than anyone. He wrote the Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe. He wrote the Bourne miniseries. He wrote Welcome Back Frank, and he wrote the Punisher for years after that for all the Max titles and miniseries and all kinds of stuff. And he's got another one coming out soon that's going to be about Frank when he was in Vietnam.
Is he really? Oh my God! Sold. Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, I mean, I think he writes him best where he shows the absolute brutality of him, but it's Garth Ennis too, so he mixes. There is some funny stuff mixed in, but it's not funny because the Punisher is cracking a joke. It's just the over the top ridiculousness of the way that he kills some of these guys. I don't think that you can. I don't think you could talk about the Punisher without mentioning him up there. And then for best artist, I almost went with Jim Lee since he is my favorite artist, but reading some of the stuff, I had to go with Leandro Fernandez.
Oh, nice.
Who, he drew him for a while. If you check out some of the some of the stories, especially I think I mentioned it earlier, the Up is Down, Black is White storyline in one of the Punisher books, and some of the other stuff, but especially that one, like his artwork, I think fits perfectly with it. Like he gets, it's nice, clean lines, and he works really well with the colorist that did it too, where you get the grittiness of it without, it doesn't feel like a superhero thing. He never looks like he's wearing spandex. It definitely feels really gritty while still just being absolutely beautiful art too.
Very good. All right, Kevin, who do you got for best author and artist?
I know that you guys are going to find this hard to believe, but I'm going to agree with Dan and got to go with Garth Ennis. I love his work. He's one of my favorite comic writers. I think he's just brilliant. And I know it's not a particular stretch, but I got to go with Steve Dillon as the artist. It's very traditionally comic booky, but I think a lot of the point that we do with the favorite writer and artist is who does our mind go to when we think of this character. And for me, it's the combination of Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon is my team for the Punisher.
Very good. All right, Jamie, how about you?
So for writer, I have Matthew Rosenberg. I thought he did a fantastic job, especially when we were talking about the whole like evolution, how it doesn't work, but to like grab the War Machine armor and to have a whole series based on that, like I thought that was just phenomenal. That was a great change in pace all the way through. And for my artist, I'm going with Klaus Janson from the 87 series, because every time I look at those first couple of issues, it's like that's the Punisher for me. Like it doesn't matter which way it looked to me, perfect as perfect can be.
Right. That's fair.
Very good. All right, so I'm going to go out on a limb and be completely different, and I'm going to choose Garth Ennis as my best writer. No, I can't say anything else about this. He was just, he's written the most on it. I think he gets the character. I think he knows how to write the Punisher. So I'll leave it at that. And for artists, I'm going to go with Mike Zeck. I like Mike Zeck artwork. He did a lot of good work with that. When I picture the Punisher, I picture his artwork.
Fair. And I love how we all had different. We're all pretty simpatico as far as the writer, but I think it was pretty cool that we all had different artists in our head.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's the great thing is when you can actually sit back and be like, who do you think of when you look at this character? And everyone could have the same writer, except for you, but everyone could have different artists when you think of them.
Yeah, right. Fair.
I'm going to throw in
great artists over the years too.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to throw in one more question here. I'm going to surprise you guys because This is not scripted.
I love it when this happens.
Thanks for showing up, everybody. Have a great night.
Because anything can happen on Thursdays.
Hell yeah.
As far as the live action Punisher, who do you think best represented Punisher the best?
John Barenthal.
Oh, Dan.
I would say John Bernthal, though.
Mhm.
I know people kind of take pot shots at Dolph Lundgren, but I thought if he had a better movie to work with, that he would have been excellent. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Kevin?
John Barenthal. Like that scene in Daredevil where the guard got to him and he's just like, screw you, I'm guilty. If given a chance, I would do it again. And I was like, oh my God, this guy is the Punisher. Holy crap.
Definitely.
It was amazing.
All right, Jamie, what do you think?
Thomas Jane. That's the correct answer.
Wow.
That's the only
That's
answer.
amazing. It's amazing.
Dude, like the guy literally beat people in a fan film because people wanted him back as Punisher so bad. They did a fan film, and he crushed someone's face with a Jack Daniels bottle.
Yeah.
The same guy who made his the villain in the Punisher hold a C4 clay or a claymore in his hand and goes, "You're a strong kid. You can hold this for about 20 minutes," and then ties the rest of it to the top of the car. And he's like, "As soon as you let your hand go, you're done."
I'm not changing my answer, but I can't argue with that.
Yeah, true.
It was pretty brutal, that scene where he stabbed the guy with the knife going up through there, and you see the knife guy go through his open mouth.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm actually at a tie between Bernthal and Thomas Jane.
I was waiting for you to say Ray Stevenson.
Yeah.
From Warzone.
I saw the Dolph
snapped
Lundgren
his nose back in with a pencil. It was great.
I saw the Dolph Lundgren movie, and that was just like, I don't know. That was just bad. That was just bad.
As bad, and this was as bad as the Dolph Lundgren movie is. I think one little detail would have made it 1,000 times better. Not good.
If he fought Rocky.
No,
in Russia.
If they actually gave him the skull on his chest.
There was on a knife.
Okay, it's better.
There was one line that still makes me laugh, in that when the ninjas that he's fighting, they've got him captured and they've got him like strung up on this rack and they're getting ready to torture him, and the one person who's the head is walking out to let the other ones torture him. He goes, "Hey," and they look back at him. He just goes, "Have a nice day." Like, it's so stupid, but it makes me laugh every time. But again,
it does.
You know, he could have been good. I think Thomas Jane too. Like, I liked him, but I just don't think the material that he was given was good enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
I just hate John Bernthal.
What?
I just hate John Bernthal.
That's punishing fighting words there.
No, I didn't like him as Shane on Walking Dead, and he's the same character and everything.
Yeah, true.
Like he's one dimensional to me. That's why he's good as the Punisher, because he's just like that in real life.
To be fair, he wasn't meant to be liked in The Walking Dead.
No, I get that. But like, I watched a couple of his podcasts where he has people on. He's the same dude, no matter what.
Here's the thing that there was a story that he went to New York and he went to a comic shop and he bought a bunch of comics, Punisher comics. And the guy was like, no, yes, no.
Oh,
no.
yeah. He was like, you need to read these.
Read these. I know who you are. Don't screw this up. I was like, it's still New York, man.
Nice.
Well, he lives, I mean, not like right by me, but he lives, in the same general area. I've heard that he likes to go to one of the malls that's in the same general area here and like hang out at the Lego shop. Spend a lot of money at the Lego store.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. Well, I think that wraps up this show. We did comic character of the week, the Punisher.
Boom.
Do we have a character on tap for next week?
Firestorm.
Woo.
Firestorm. You heard it here first, people. Firestorm will be next week, so stay tuned. As always, I am your host, Sal, the Slab Guy. You can find me on Sal Comic Corner on YouTube and on Instagram as the Slab Guy 77. And down below me, we've got Dan the Man Kelly. Where can they find you at, buddy?
Yep, you can find me on Instagram at Dan Kelly Art. Post art, music, writing on there. So go check it out. Give me a follow and leave some comments. Let me know what you'd like to see me what you'd like to see me play, what you'd like to see me draw, write, whatever. Then we
Cool.
got this cat right beside me here.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I created a group over on Facebook and Instagram called Comic Character of the Day, where we post a different character and all sorts of other goodies. Every single day we put out great content. If you would be interested in checking it out, come on over to Comic Character of the Day over on Facebook and Instagram. We'd love to have you as part of the family.
And click the description down from below so that way you can get there.
Definitely. And then we have the man behind the scenes, J-Dub.
The mastermind.
Yes, and you know what I'm about to say. Go check out the codexstation.com, your one-stop shop for everything Codex. My hair just flipped. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to make you jealous.
Give you the hair flick.
Damn it, man.
Get some merch, meet the team, let us know what you like, don't like. Just have a conversation with us. And if you guys can, definitely like, share, and subscribe, because all of our socials are on there as well. So there's not a reason for you to miss out or complain that you're missing any of the episodes. So go check that out.
Very true.
And guys, before I get out of here, as always, you never know what anyone's going through out there. You never know what personal battle someone's having that day, or life, or what seemed to have happened. So always be kind, because even making someone smile can change the course of the day or life. So be kind.
Yep. Take care, everybody.
Much love. Peace.